As a financial PR practitioner, we work with many companies and business owners who want to exercise their capital raising. But we all know that the entire journey of capital raising requires a huge undertaking. It's such an exhausting and also a long process. Now, so much of expectation, so much of emotions involved, invested, and so much of commitment just to ace the very first meeting. But the real question is, what if the first meeting has gone south with your investors? Was it really exactly as what you intended? Well, today there are good and bad news that fundraising, or rather pitching to investor, it can happen anywhere. And really, anybody in this era can be an investor. As long as the person buys your idea and writes you a check, there you go. Congratulations, you have just nailed an investor. But the other flip side of it, you only have one meeting, only one single meeting, and it's all about the first impression that matters most. And that's what we are talking about. Effectively from this week onwards, I'll be sharing more on a bite-sized learnings, takeaways, and also some of the pitfalls that I have done wrongly in the past. And I would like to share this experience with you guys. And hopefully this will able to be a great insight for you to take away, and also to ace your killer pitch when you meet up with your next investor. Hi, my name is Arthur Tan, one of the co-founders of Invest AQ, and I'm very passionate to work with companies and business owners to communicate their challenging, complex, and game-changing business ideas to the simplest ways of what investors want to see, read, and also hearing. And today, I'll be sharing three golden rules. Three golden rules of what I always remind myself before meeting up an investor. Golden rule number one: always treat your investor pitch as though you are talking to a friend. Now, it's easier said than done, right? I mean, after all, investors are still humans. But our human psychology has shaped us when we do a pitch, we tend to sell. We put on that selling hat, that selling element. Especially we are a bunch of entrepreneurs. We are often very optimistic. Now, without you realizing when you put on that selling psychology to the investor, you tend to over amplify your story. You tend to oversell, as well as subconsciously you become overconfident. Now, I remember very vividly during my earlier days when I was pitching to investor. I always tend to be decking out in a nice jacket and memorizing all the talking points, throwing big terms, big jargons, just to really impress investors. And I can tell you by end of the session that the investor doesn't know what exactly I'm talking, because my focus wasn't really sharing to the investor authentically, but rather more to impress the investor what I know. Be authentic, be yourself, and you will see that check written to you, to your business earlier than expected. Golden rule number two: facts tell, stories sell. This is my personal favorite, as I never fail to share with any business owner and entrepreneurs before they meet an investor or having their first pitch. Now, what exactly does it really mean when our business ideas it's filled with factual statistics and numbers? Now, the easiest way to understand this is imagine let's just switch role. You will be sitting on the other side on the investor seat. And imagine any wanted investor had probably heard 20 business pitches before you. And don't you think it will be another series of dreadful and boredom if you're going to pitch the same way as the other 20 entrepreneurs? Now, because the real ideology here is facts are facts after all, right? Facts are basically derived from studies and research which are often emotionless, and there's pretty much no room for debate. For instance, the Earth is round, the world is round, and the world has 9 planets. And all these has the science and also the research that testify it. So facts can be interesting and invaluable in decision making. So when we say that facts tells we're simply interpreting that this information it's real, this information it's authentic, and it can be used as an informed decision. Now stories on the other hand provides a picture in the world that utilizes people, history, emotions, and imaginations to convey a story. It is quality content which is unique to you, because as a people will listen personal story and personal experience, and that's how their emotions are triggered. So instead of sharing facts and factual statistics that where people can easily find, personal stories are always the key element to influence and to trigger the emotions of the listener. And too often when during a pitch with an investor, an investor will make a decision based on the personal stories that you have shared, a true compelling one. Now I'll give you another perspective from movies that we watch. The difference between documentary and also motion picture. Documentaries which is based on facts and also history, and the producers will try to make it entertaining. And as for a motion picture, be it whether it's fictional or non-fictional, the producers will try to make it as entertaining as possible with all the compilation of stories. The key word here is entertaining. So share more personal stories, share more personal experience, and you will see your pitch to be a great one and easier than what you have thought. Golden rule number 3: set the tone and ABR. Always be ready. Well, you definitely heard ABC always be closing, but in this context, I want to use ABR, because you just never know where are you going to pitch, right? As I mentioned earlier, you can pitch at anywhere, and anyone can really be an investor during this period of time. It can even be in an elevator. But in the event if you're going to do your pitch in a cafe, and say that the settings a table for 2, ensure and please make sure to arrive the meeting earlier than your investor, and to decide which sections of the cafe that you're going to be seated. Now once when you decide at the sections the cafe is going to be seated, too often remember this this is very very important. Never make your investors to be sitting in front of the scorching sun, because that glare will able to strain the investor eyes and making him tired and exhausted listening to you. And trust me, I've learned this because that was one of the lessons that investors have told me. Now once you have already decided on the sections of the cafe that where you'll be seated, be it whether you're left-hander or right-hander, ensure that you'll be pitching at the positions that where you're most comfortable. And of course that your pitch deck it's ready, you're ready to do a killer pitch. Make sure that all these files are already well prepared, that the news that you want to share the tabs are ready, the appendix file that you want to open, and also your pitch deck files it's ready once the moment you open up your laptop or your tablet when you do the pitch, rather than scrambling it through. So there you go ladies and gents. These are my 3 golden rules for you to partake today, as this serves as a reminder to me every time before I meet the investor. Hope this is available to you, and enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe and stay sane.